Governor Jindal is in Venice today. Just wrapped up a press conference where he was there to use the first jacket barge to help with the oil response. We did learn earlier today that they have at least been able to cap a little small part of the well. This is one of those jacket barges that we're talking about. Governor Jindal is expected to be here, and then he's going to move on to other parts of the parish where they're just starting to see the oil sheen begin to get in that area. Let's go ahead and listen in now, just a few moments ago, what the governor had to say about this whole process.
I talked on a White House conference call this morning with others. One of the important points I made was the importance of keeping this oil out of these interior wetlands. It would be much more effective to keep this oil out in the first place than having to go in and clean it after the fact. So this is a very, very important development. NOAA on the phone this morning told us that, yes, this is a possibility. They think that the winds are actually more likely to bring the oil north, eventually up into the Mississippi Sound, but given today's sightings and given the fact that the west, for the first time, NOAA is now showing west of the river as a possible projection, is very important. We get these plans activated, that we pre-deploy, we get BP and the Coast Guard to pre-deploy these resources so we can protect our wetlands before this oil gets there. The National Guard, working in St. Bernard Parish at the request of the parish president today, is building a wharf.
Now, the governor, you know, he is known for putting a lot of words in a very short amount of time, and each time he talks about this, he continues to bring up the point that he needs the Coast Guard and BP to okay these plans so they can get moving. Here is the latest on the actual oil cleanup. The Coast Guard says the BP has at least capped one of the 3 leaks. It's a smaller one. It's not expected to really help out that much. That's going to make it a little easier, though, to drop the containment box over the well, which you see there, the little animation. It looks like little motorized submarines down there helping with it. The dome, which is basically like a coffee cup, is expected to move out to sea sometime today. Then they got to go 5,000 feet under the water. Meanwhile, wildlife and fisheries employers are taking up some oil cleanup classes. The employees there trying to learn up how to clean up the shoreline, I should say, if and when the oil makes it here. Officials say the slick should remain at sea for at least the next few days. Already, marine life is paying a price. Reporter David Mattingly went on a boating trip to hunt for the oil.
Boat captains in port told us where to find it. An ugly reddish-brown wave of oil. A bumpy 2-hour ride later, it was impossible to miss.
Okay. Finally, here we are 15 miles out. We've slowed down. The seas are still pretty rough, as you can see, but I don't know if you can see it or not. But just right here in front of us, it looks almost like a red, muddy line through the water. That is the oil.
National Wildlife Federation President Larry Schweiger believes the impact on wildlife is inevitable.
You can see it's been treated, so it's breaking up and it's dispersing into the water column.
It looks like pea-sized blobs in the water, millions of them, all the way down.
Okay, I'm going to grab a towel here. This stuff is rubbing up against the side of the boat. There it is. That's what's in the water. That's sticking to the side of the boat right there. If this is doing this to the boat, what is it going to do to anything that lives in this water?
It's going to be very, very hard on the fish and shellfish.
And the oil seems to go on forever.
Over here, as far as the eye can see, there is like a red line of that oil going right across the Gulf of Mexico. It is endless.
And as bad as it looked, it was about to get worse.
This is something we didn't expect to see. This is a sea turtle. It's right here in the water. It's right near the top. It's swimming right in the middle of all that oily mess out there. We're going to try and get as close as we can.
He's having trouble. That's why he's doing that. He should not be doing it.
Clearly in distress. The turtle has to come up for air.
The turtle's coming up for air, and when it does, it's gulping the surface, and it's picking up that oil that's floating on the surface.
So it's taking it into its body.
So it's taking it into its body, and of course, if you're drinking oil, it's not good for the digestive system. So he's in distress.
It seemed to be having breathing problems. After a few moments, it disappeared into the reddish, oily muck.
Okay, we're about to take off. Didn't want to leave without getting a souvenir. There it is, the Gulf of Mexico oil spill. That's just one leading band of it. You can see how it's floating to the top and how nasty it is. And all of this is going that way, back towards shore.
Well, we could have done without his souvenir. The turtle apparently did not make it. We checked on that in that story. They've had about 20 altogether wash up on this shore, so it's going to be a big-time impact for there, so we'll continue to follow it.